it's not below us. No can go up in that iron ground. Clear, all too soft for sound. Bed is hardly shown. Scraped across the phone like they stole it. And oh, how they hold it. Claire, we nearly forfeit. I'm going like quickening hills. I'm telling darkness from lines on you. Over havens forward, falling swollen more as your habitat. Oh, and living alone, where the ass snap in the whole class alone.
My story is the story of one survivor, but it's also a story of 6 million others. There were mothers and fathers, doctors and teachers, uncles and children and aunts. They used to laugh and cry, but now they scream in silence. And I'm very fortunate I am alive. And when my thoughts go back to the times when the Germans invaded Poland, it was the most terrifying experience. I looked around. My mother spoke fluent German, we all did. And they opened all the wardrobes everywhere, and they turned around and said to my mother, "You won't be needing it. You've got a very nice home, but you won't be needed it for very long. We command you by tomorrow, 12 o'clock. You have to deliver all the things which we see. If not, one of your children going to be shot." My mother broke down. She cried. Why? Because whatever she worked for, she saved for, everything was gone. But later, months and years, we learned that all those possessions which one possessed had no meaning. The starvation, the torture, the fear was horrendous. It's impossible for anyone to comprehend. In the middle of the night, they used to come, knock on doors, dragging people out into the courtyard and shooting them there. Old people, young little children, they've been taken to the woods and never seen them again. It's impossible to describe. One evening they told us that, there'd be night shift and no one is allowed to go anywhere else to work, with the exception of this group of 55 men my sister was working with her husband. September the 14th, never unforgettable day. And I was waiting, looking, and suddenly I heard shots. I said, "Your power just throw me away." And I shook my head. I said to myself, "What is it?" And then I heard more shots. And then silence. Girls came in. And I approached her, "Could you please tell me what's happened?" And eventually one girl turned around to say, "Yes, there were 55 men, one girl. They had to undress and dig their own grave. And they'd been shot there and there." And then I realized that my sister will tell my mother that news was very difficult. And as for myself, she always used to sleep on that side of my arm. So from that night onwards until today, I always feel such a chill, like something torn away from me. Walked towards that shower room. We had to leave our clothes behind, no towels, no soap. We walked in, we were trembling, you know, it's bitter cold in the winter. And we waited and waited, and there were openings in the ceiling, and nothing came through. All of a sudden, doors opened on my left, and walked in a woman. She was working as a clerk in a previous camp. And I tried to push myself. I knew her, she knew me. And she noticed me, and she turned around. You are here, like that. She stretched her arms, which are unforgettable. And she rushed out, and then after a little while, water came. And we showered ourselves, we drank it. It was wonderful, ice cold water. But we was, for so many weeks, we did not have any water on our bags. And then the water stopped. The doors opened, we came out of there. And the women who worked there screamed, shouted, embraced us. You are alive, we thought we never seen you. And I looked at her, I said, what are you shouting, what's the matter? They said, don't you know where you've been? I said, no, where? You were in a gas chamber. When I heard that, I completely, utterly lost my voice. I could not produce any syllable, nothing came through. And I must tell you, at that point, I felt there must have been power over powers. And God must have saved my life, and so many others were with me. And with trains arrived, closed-in trains, and so many to one compartment. We were in one position, the knees towards our chins. The scream, the shout was horrendous. And we fell asleep from exhaustion. I don't know for how long we were sleeping. Then we found ourselves in Belsen, concentration camp. And Belsen concentration camp was known to us as a Vernichtungslager. That calls finishing camp. There's no escape. And we walked into the huge barrack. There weren't any bunks, no straw mattresses, no blanket, nothing. There were openings for windows, but no glass in them. We found a corner. We fell asleep from exhaustion. Early hours of the morning, I woke up and I looked out, and I could not believe my eyes. I've seen heaps of bodies lying outside each barrack, walking skeletons in every sense of the word. You could not distinguish whether they were men or women. Children bodies. And I said to myself, I'm not going to die like that. So my story is the story of one survivor, but it's also a story of 6 million others who cannot tell. And I was, and I always shall be, the witness to the mass murder, systematic destruction of civilization.